Hello, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to fill another request. This request was actually for a great winter fly. Okay, I'm going to actually tie a variation of the copper john. I have a bead on here, just a black bead. I have about 10 rounds at .20 non-lead wire on a size 12 nymph hook. I have some black 8/0 thread. I have already applied some head cement. So, I'm just going to wind to the back of this hook. Okay, my winter flies for trout are generally very flashy. I'm going to use some green crystal flash for the tails on this copper john. The traditional tail is like a split buyout. Like a goose buyout is the traditional legs or tails, and this just gives it a bunch more flash. Okay, so I'm going to take some uni or UTC small fluorescent yellow wire. I'm just going to tie that in. I want to build a body taper, and I didn't extend the lead all the way down because I like the body somewhat thin, yet I still want taper on them. So I'm just going to taper up with my 8/0 black thread. If you want to use some floss, go ahead, but I can build a pretty good taper this way. Okay, I'm going to take my wire, I'm just going to wrap, touch and turns, and you can variate this with different wire colors to make an even cooler looking body. And when I tied in my wire, I tied it off to the side to give it some width. Very important, I think. Just take your time on this. This adds a lot of weight to the fly, but can be the hardest because you're doing so many wraps. Just take your time. And I made up a nice gradual taper. Just going to tie off my wire now. In general, my winter flies are heavy, so this is why I like the copper john, because it's heavy yet it's accurate and proportionate. I've left there's a few spaces where the thread shows through. It's no big. Okay, I'm going to tie in some mottled oak. No, this is not mottled oak. This is dark. It's a brown mottled oak, or mottled something. I think it's supposed to look like a turkey feather in a translucent brownish gray. Just tie that down. Tie it down good. Then I'm going to take some pearl wide tinsel. This is going to provide the flash. I like this color very much. Okay, so now we come to the dubbin. I'm going to show you guys how to make a dubbin that I've used before. It's Arctic Fox. I'm going to take some black Arctic Fox. I like black on this fly for your dubbin. I think it makes a very good looking thorax. I'm just going to chop off a bunch of that. And I'll just cut it into 3 different sections, as I've done many times. Arctic Fox is my new favorite dubbin. Has a very good texture to it, I think. Just going to dub that up. you can dub very fine bodies with it. So first I start off by dubbing a fine layer, then go back, make it a little thicker. I want to keep it a very tight dubbing, so I can pick it out later, but I want to make a very definite shape with this dubbing. Okay, so that's good. I'm just going to separate this dubbing because I have to tie in some legs now. In the legs, I chose a guinea fowl. I'll show it to you in just a sec. A guinea fowl dyed green. This is the feather. I've already used half of it for another fly. I'm going to take about 6 strands, 6 to 12 strands, pull them off, tie them in. How long do you want them? Okay. Show you how to measure it. You're going to want them from the eye of the hook to the length of the thorax, including the bead. Is a pretty good measurement, I think. Unless you have really long thoraxes, and your legs will get a little long, but pretty good measurement. Just tying them on the near side first. Select another bunch. Okay. Let's get that about right. Needs a little more. Okay. And tie these down really good so they don't pull out. You don't want all your legs pulling out in your fly. Okay. So now we're just going to continue with our black Arctic fox dubbing. This fly can be tied in many different sizes. Probably the most effective are the 12s and 14s. 16s are still effective. That's in my area. I would say the best searching nymph of this that I've used in Yellowstone, just pull your body over, or your wing case over, your pearl, and then your thin skin. The best searching fly is going to be in the 16s and 14s. But once you found the fish, a 12 can trigger very aggressive strikes and get a lot of big fish. Okay, so just tie that down securely. And then since this has a bead, and I don't want to mess up the finish on the bead, this is a tungsten bead because I like my flies heavy. They have a finicky finish, I found. Apply some hard as hell head cement. Good layer of that to your thread, and then wet finish. Try not to get much on your bead. It looks like I have a big glob of head cement. Just break off your thread. Really, I don't have that much. I'll just pick some of it out real here. Okay, there you have the winter fly. One last touch is you're just gonna trim these legs just a little shorter. And there you go. You got the 5 or 6 strands of crystal flash at the back, which provide a lot of flash. Thanks for watching. Please comment and please put any requests that you have for other flies you'd want to see tied.